well, and this is exercising the mind of Darren Lehmann. Looks as if he's given the ball there to Ryan Harris. He's a medium pacer here. This is a very good pitch too. As a medium pacer, you really have to be spot on.
Yes, this is a big ask here for Ryan Harris. He's been given the 12th over, so he can only have 2 men outside the circle. He's still got to have 2 catching men as well. He's got a short cover and a slip at the moment for the left-handed Bevan. So bowling to 2 class players. Both have got to start on a good pitch where there's no movement. He'll have to be right on the spot here, or particularly Mark Waugh, who looks in good form, will take him to the cleaners.
Did straight that one and attempted a Yorker right on the base of the bat. Good bowling. And one of the things that one is inclined to do just before a test series is to look at the in-form players in the calendar year. You want to look at recent form, and there's been a lot of talk about what Australia is going to do to England. I'm just seeing if I can find any Australian names in this list. The leading run scorers in test matches in 2002. Rahul Dravid, what a year he's had. Sachin Tendulkar up there. And of course Michael Vaughan, the guy that's been a little bit suspect in terms of whether or not he'll play in this first test match, but he's playing today, so it looks good. He's averaging 64 in 2002. And just a little further down the list there, number 7, Nasser Hussain, averaging 50. Mark Butcher averaging 45. So one or two of those English batsmen looking in relatively good form in 2002.
It's interesting to note that no Australians, no South Africans and no Pakistani batsmen in that top 10. Australia only played 7 test matches so far this year, this calendar year. The England top 4 batsmen there, all there. It's a good sign for England. The Ashes series starting.
Oh, that's 4. That's well played. Away on the onside, right off the middle of the bat again. 1 for 47. So Mark Waugh continuing to play really well here. 36 he's got. Bevan looking pretty confident as well. They've only been 2 close calls really, and they were both run-outs. Blewett very nearly pulled off a miraculous run-out, and Mark Waugh, without facing a ball, was pretty lucky. Those are the 2 little hiccups so far in this partnership. When Mark Waugh said that a little bit of load had been lifted off his shoulders and he was looking forward to playing at this level, have a look at this, and this will give you some idea of how much of a load has gone. He's played some beautiful shots here today. He really has. And the one you're about to see, this cover drive, that one there, oh boy, what a shot. On the up, and hardly a gap there, but he found it.
One thing I always used as a yardstick for Mark Waugh was shots through this area here. When he's hitting 4s, like the one Tony Greig just highlighted, through the offside, you know that he's playing well, because he always gets these ones. He picks the ball off his pads as good as anyone. But when he's also driving, he's very hard to bowl to.
Yeah, if I was him, I reckon I'd withdraw that whole business of retiring. I'd go back to Sydney tomorrow, have a chat to my wife and say, listen, I want to withdraw that. I just played too well. That'll put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Does that mean he's got to glue his contract back together again?
His contract's all right. From what I can gather, it stays in place for the financial year. So he's on a $400,000 contract apparently, and that's the money's going to keep pouring in until the end of this financial year. So he's got no problems on the security front, just for a little while anyhow. It's the only thing he'll miss, I suppose, or he'll think he's going to be missing, is the bonuses against England in the Test matches. But that's a long way away yet. 1 for 55. Blues 1 for 55. It's going to be Mark Waugh on strike now. And that was the first really bad shot he's played in this innings. Getting a bit adventurous, I suppose. To tell you more about it, James Brayshaw and Richie Bennett.
Thanks, Tony. The Blues starting to impose themselves a little on this contest. When you've got a batting order that looks as good as theirs, the last thing you want as an opposing side is an early partnership. And that's exactly what these two are putting together, losing their first wicket. Second over of the day. This partnership now worth 53 from 81, Richie, and it's starting to warm the hearts of Blues supporters around the country.
Well, they're looking good at the moment. You know that Bevan for sure is going to try to be there at the end of the innings, and that's generally his battle plan. He increases the rate of scoring. Mark Waugh looks to be in delightful touch. They just need to keep going.
Yep.
When you look at 247 as a target, batting surface as good as this, you get the feeling that the Redbacks have to bowl New South Wales out. They can't contain them, I wouldn't have thought, inside 50 overs. So Darren Lehmann, not without his problems.
There was some spin there for Stuart McGill when New South Wales bowled. He got a few to bounce and turn, but then he's a really big spinner of the ball. The strokes each of these two batsmen played in this over. Mark Waugh trying to loft Harris away over mid-wicket, and Bevan trying to hit him down the ground. Rather indicates that they're not happy with the pace they're going at the moment. Thought it'd be more important for them to keep the partnership going.
One for 61 from 17. And danger signs written all over this partnership from a Redback point of view. Mark Waugh played beautifully almost from the get-go. Michael Bevan taking a little longer to get into his stride. Graham Manu standing up now to Ryan Harris, because we saw a couple of times in the last over both batsmen advancing down the pitch. So the oft-used tactic to stop that from happening is for the keeper to stand up.
He's an interesting bowler, Ryan Harris. There doesn't look to be much about him. He's just a medium pacer, in a sense.
Yep.
But he's bowled accurately. He's into his 4th over. They've got 11 off him at the moment, only 11. And he's posing the problem for each of these two fine batsmen that they've got to do something slightly unorthodox to get at him.
And that's the problem when you stand up. It makes those very difficult to handle. Thick edge would have presented a fairly simple catch had Graham Manu been standing back. The relevant question, of course, is whether Mark Waugh would have played the shot if the keeper wasn't standing up. But as it is, that's 4 runs.
Ryan Harris isn't pleased. Graham Manu caught the eye of the captain, Darren Lehmann, who would have suggested that he stand up. Perhaps to say, well, it's not really my fault. Give you an idea of type of bowler Ryan Harris is against these two batsmen. Each of them scoring well. Mark Waugh, the white line. He's done very well. He got a nice ascent to that graph. Bevan's a bit of a flat spot just recently. Yes, Ryan Harris, last ball of the last over, he bowled to Bevan. He let out a yell when he bowled one that had 2 runs taken from him.
Oh yeah, good hacks, CB.
And that gives you a good idea of a fellow who is bowling to a plan. We've seen him in limited overs games before. Various methods of wetting one side of the ball to produce reverse swing later on. That was one of them you just saw.
Six runs coming from that Ryan Harris over. New South Wales 1 for 67.
Well, Darren Lehmann proved me wrong when I said sometimes the gamble of bowling a few overs of left arm spin comes off. It's now only 62 needed to win. Lehmann's bowled the 1 over. Now he's off. Ryan Harris comes on. He bowled accurately in his early spell. Here's Tony Greig now, and with him Mark Taylor.
Thank you, Richie. Yes, well, things going along pretty well here for New South Wales. Just 62 to get to win the match. At a run rate of just under 4.5.
Wait!
Well, that's an astute piece of captaincy from Darren Lehmann. Just the 1 over he bowled himself, and he went for a couple of boundaries and it went for 12. Well, sorry, he went for a 6 to start with. 1 over for 12, and he thought, that's it, enough's enough, I'm not bowling to these two anymore. That's the advantage about being captain sometime. That may well be his last over for the day, particularly if these two stay in.
Yeah, I said a little while ago, one of the things that he could consider, if it's heading nowhere for him, is to get them interested in the bonus point. Had that been the case, he probably would have bowled another one. So I don't think that's on his mind at the moment.
They only have 3.4 overs left to get the remaining runs for the bonus point, so he would have to bowl at least another over. So I think that sort of thinking's gone out of his head. 61 runs still needed by New South Wales.
Now go on. You're in touch.
Greg Blewett, there was the fieldsman, and he'll be annoyed with himself. Steve Waugh's on the back foot when he played that shot. He called yes straight away, but it was to Greg Blewett's right hand. Hit it at pace, and he would have felt that he had a chance at the bowler's end had he fielded cleanly. Interesting to note there that Steve Waugh's helmet flew up too as he hit that ball. There may have been an opportunity there, but at the moment, New South Wales are going along nicely.
Oh, he's hit that one. That's gone sailing away down towards the boundary at mid-wicket. Boy, that was a confident shot. He's a confident player and a good one at that.
Well, it looked like he was almost admonishing himself there after he played that one. He smashed it over wide mid on. After he played the shot, he was practicing hitting it straighter down the ground. Maybe that was his initial thoughts, but he saw it too early, I think, at the moment. He's got it through the shot too early.
Yes, I think he realises that there's absolutely no need for that sort of thing right now. It was a little bit of an across-the-line shot. However, when you play those sorts of shots and they come off, you don't worry about them too much. So runs on the onside there, peppering that mid-wicket boundary.
No!
That's well bowled.
Over.
It's 3 for 191. Three for 197. Katich next in, then Haddon. So we've still got some good batting to come. And on target to win this match, New South Wales. Win it quite comfortably unless things go really badly wrong here.
Yeah.
It's been reasonably smooth sailing for New South Wales so far. Little hiccup early on. Corey Richards out to a nice leg cutter or out swinger there from Damien Fleming. Mark Waugh hit them beautifully for 76. Deceived by a slower ball from Jason Gillespie. He fell on 76 of 87 balls. And then not long after Mark Waugh's dismissal, Michael Bevan fell in unusual circumstances. Just watch his right foot. Sorry, his left foot onto the off stump, out hit wicket. The bowler was Mark Harrity. He was out for 46. At that stage, it was 3 for 133. These two have gone along nicely. That's the 200 up now for New South Wales. These two have put on 66. Only 60 balls faced, so they're doing it quite comfortably at the moment. And Michael Clarke looks in very good form. 45 he scored from only 35 balls faced.
Well, the good thing about this little partnership is that Michael Clarke, the junior of the two out there, very much the junior of the two out there, is matching Steve Waugh easily. There is the graphic. Michael Clarke down the bottom there, balls faced, and up the left side is runs scored. You can see that he started a little slower than Steve Waugh, but he's gone past him now and he's stayed ahead. Yes, and to be fair, with that graphic, you really need to show it. You need to do your comparison there. If you face the same number of balls, you can see the difference of the same number of balls. Obviously, you can see that little section there. That's those are the extra balls that have been faced by Michael Clarke. So, interesting graphic, that one. It's a graphic we might use quite a lot in the one-day internationals when the first 15 overs have gone and you see one of the batsmen giving the strike to another. 3 for 201.